Good morning, Donald from D&D Defense here with another video. Today's video is going to be one option of many that you can do if you ever hit the ground in a self-defense situation. Now, before I get into the actual technical aspects of this video, quick disclaimer, when doing this technique or utilizing this technique in a self-defense scenario, there's a wide range of things that need to occur within that self-defense scenario in order for this to be applicable. One should never plan on attempting to do this, meaning if you hit the ground saying this is what I'm going to do. It's just another tool in your self-defense toolbox that can be utilized if appropriate at that time. That being said, in any self-defense scenario, you should never remain on the ground for long periods of time. Ultimately, what you want to do is to be able to get back to your feet safely and either continue the fight or exit the fight. Those are really your only two options. And in my professional opinion, the preferable option would be to exit if possible, because we must remember that self-defense is exactly that. It's defense. And so part of that defense is evading or escaping. And so if you have an opportunity to get out of the fight and get out of that fight alive, then that's the preferable option. Just because if you do continue and a weapon hasn't already been drawn, that doesn't mean in that continuation a weapon won't be drawn or friends won't jump in. So again, I will preface by saying that if you ever land on the ground, always make every attempt to try and get up. And so this technique that I'm going to show, yes, is meant to choke the person until unconscious. The caveat to that is that in doing it, you remain on the ground. So I'll also preface by saying that when doing this, do this less with the intent of choking the person unconscious and more so being able to roll the person over and get to a more dominant position so that you can then get to your feet and escape. So with that said, let me get to the technique. So with my trusted dummy here, let's just say that you've been knocked to the ground and the person falls into what we in the jiu-jitsu community commonly refer to as a closed guard position, with your legs wrapped around their hips, controlling them. Now, in a self-defense scenario, if this happens, 9 times out of 10, the person's going to be trying to punch you in the face. So the way that you mitigate that momentarily until you can get to a more dominant position is his arms are just an extension of where his shoulder is at. So since I can't run the risk of blocking at his arms for sliding off and still getting hit, ideally what you want to do is block at the shoulders. Plus, this will give you a little bit of postural control. And as he starts moving his arms to try and get out of that, he loses his momentum of the punch. And then eventually what will happen is I'll wait for his wind up because he'll try and go harder by winding up his arm and getting it away from my hand. And as he does that, he telegraphs that punch. And when I see that coming, what I'll do, and I'll just move to this side a little bit. If this hand is coming here, I parry on the side. So I'm here, and as it comes down, I parry to the outside of the hand. Get it to the outside behind the elbow and trapping. Once I've trapped the arm, as I said before, I do not want to stay here, but he is trapped and has no base going that direction. So what I'm going to do is open up my legs and roll him over into a mounted position. Still staying tight, keeping that my body collapsed on his arm until I'm ready to get up. And if necessary, land a couple blows until you can get up and escape. Now, while the ending of that, meaning the blows, may have been or appeared slow, this will all be happening in real time. And so it will go significantly faster in a self-defense scenario. But in the interest of the video and slowing it down so that people can conceptually understand what is needed for this specific technique, it is important to slow it down. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So remember what I said at the beginning of this video. This technique requires certain variables or certain things to be occurring. And in this case in particular, this would have to happen in a situation where it's just a one-on-one, or if the friends aren't immediately available, because once you're on your back, you're not going to have a lot of time to get into these positions in order to roll him over if the friends have immediate access to striking you. And so with that, there's different techniques for that. But for this specific technique, this would be utilized more in a situation where it's a one-on-one confrontation, or he does have friends, but his friends are either hesitant or not in the immediate vicinity to where they can strike you immediately, and allowing for time for you to, complete this and eventually get to a dominant position that would allow for you to escape, or if necessary, engage in combat or the fight, continue the fight with his friends if they get into your space. So that being said, that technique is called the arm and head choke, and can be utilized off of parrying a punch. This could also be utilized when standing up. Unfortunately, I can't show that with a dummy, but with a live human being, just simulate the same motions of parrying the elbow as it comes down, and then wrapping your arms around in a triangle form, and then rolling the person over. If standing up, you can leg sweep them. So if you like this video or want more content, please subscribe and comment below with any questions or things that you would like to see, and I will make a video addressing those very things. That being said, if you are in the Hartford County area and are looking for self-defense lessons, whether with firearms, knives, sticks, or hand-to-hand combat. Please look me up at dnddefense.com, which is my personal website where you can find a listing of different trainings that I do. You can do just martial arts, firearms, or a combination of both. My programs are pretty flexible and are meant that way to accommodate those with all different training levels. So with that said, stay blessed, stay safe.